Hey, Total Divas fans, don't forget, if you enjoyed this week's episode, please go to fanstalkwrestling.com, click the big green button, and pledge a couple dollars our way. Every week, the Fans Talk Wrestling team delivers over 3 hours of content to your podcast feed. And really, there's nothing like being able to connect with the other wrestling fans that share the same passion that you do for the products that we love. Every little bit will help keep this series going. The more support means the more time we can devote to sitting down with you every week to talk wrestling. So let's get into it. This is Fans Talk Total Divas. It's a weekly conversation about what's going on in the world of Total Divas by the FTW Total Diva herself, Michelle. This is episode 4 and covers WWE Total Divas Season 3, episode 18, which aired on March 1st, 2015. And at this point, I take a step back from the mic and let Michelle, our expert, take over and tell you about the week that was on Total Divas.
Hey there, wrestling fans. It's Michelle from FTW here to talk Total Divas. And this week we're going to start off with Paige tatting it up. She really wants to get a tattoo, and not just a little tattoo. She wants to get either a full sleeve with a tattoo of her mom or a chest piece, which would basically cover the top of her breasts and all of her chest area. So she asked WWE if she would be allowed to do this, and they're like, congratulations, you're not getting a tattoo. It would totally change what people see her as right now, her packaging. So they said no to her, and of course, she doesn't like to hear the words no, and she wants to be in control of what happens with her body and what she does to her body. So she's a little miffed at this. So she goes to the tattoo parlor and she gets the guy ready to get a full chest piece. And she calls her friends, and they come and they're like saying, you're going to cause her to lose her job and blah, blah, blah. Like, they're all hysterical. And in comes Natty. Natty is like Mama Diva, and she totally talks sense to her. So anyway, they all leave the room where she's getting tattooed, and then you hear the tattoo gun going, and you're thinking, oh, she is actually doing it. But in reality, she didn't. She took Natty's advice and she didn't get the chest piece. Rosa tweeted, friends don't let friends get chest pieces. Hilarious. But so she ended up with 2 little flowers on both of her thumbs just to prove a point that she has control over her own body. So I'm sure we'll see lots of fun things from Paige next week in the next season. Next up is Supermodel TJ. Natty was thinking that they shouldn't leave all their eggs in one WWE basket, and maybe they should think of things that they're going to do when they're not at WWE. And TJ thought, well, I wouldn't mind doing some sports modeling. And so they go off on a little modeling quest, and TJ gets to do some modeling with a couple of ladies, and it was funny because it was a good modeling session in my mind, but Natty, who is just starting to get back with her husband in a good space, was rather really jealous of these almost naked girls and TJ. So I think we're going to not do modeling. So the diversity will have to come from some other end of it. Maybe he'll later become a trainer or have a gym. That's some other suggestions. And now Cameron. So Cameron and Vinny are having this family dinner where his family comes and her family comes, and she's panicked because her dad used to be a crack addict and is kind of like a character. And not only did he used to be a crack addict and now is a recovering addict, he is now also a pastor. Did not see that coming. Cameron's daddy is a pastor. So she goes out, her and Eva Marie, to the end of the world to visit her dad and invite him to this dinner. And she wants to help him out because he has bad teeth, and she wants it perfect before their dinner with both families. And so there was a lot of drama with that because she is, whether she wants to admit it or not, a little bit embarrassed by her dad. So with that, she wanted to change his outfits, change him up, go and get him to the dentist and get his teeth fixed up. And so they get to the time when they're having this dinner, and Vinny goes and talks to her dad and says, just takes him aside and says, I want your blessing. Someday I want to marry Cameron. I want to marry your daughter. I love her, and I want to have a life with her. So Dad loves Vinny, so he is all about that, and he gets up and makes an announcement and congratulates them on their engagement and blah blah blah. So it was really kind of funny and awkward. Like, there wasn't an engagement, but he misinterpreted that they are now engaged. And then to add in, right from the start, Vinny's dad was all about them getting married and having babies. So he gets up and he gives a little speech about how happy he is that they're going to be married and that he wants them to have lots of babies. And so, all in all, it was a sweet family moment, but an awkward moment as well. Cameron probably died a few deaths during this episode, but you could tell that they all really loved each other, and that, maybe there will be a marriage, but I don't think anytime soon. So next week is season finale, so I'm sure we will see lots of good stuff and interesting stuff next week. So stay tuned for more Total Divas.